Hi everyone, this is Ken Gaitas from the Pathsets group, and I'm here to talk about the token count, allocation, and mining phases. In this section, I want to talk about the allocation of usages for your Panda Pal rewards, and I want to simplify this as simple as possible, just for you guys to get the idea of how this allocation works. And for reference, we talked about in the previous slide that 1050 tokens are allocated for the PandaPal rewards every 30 minutes. And then it's going to be based on the usage of the past 24 hours. So every 30 minutes when the PandaPals is paying you, it's not based on that particular hour, but it's actually based on the 24-hour usage. So if you start at 9 o'clock, if you're getting paid at 9 p.m. at night for your PandaPals rewards, it's actually the usage is calculated based on the previous 24 hours. So that means it was calculating from that point on to the past 24 hours of yesterday's 9 p.m. So that's really how this works. So it's not just based on that particular hour that you're getting. I want to make this as simple as possible such that I'm going to create the usage of there's four different groups here, okay? One group here or group A, they have 1,000 members with 1,000 usage. The second group has 1,000 members with 100 usage. The third group has only 8 members, but they have 200 usages. And the last group is just a family. It's a family of four with mom, dad, two kids, four of them, and the usage is 100. So just to kind of illustrate a point and how this thing works. So this team right here, they use the app almost 100% of the time. They're not using WhatsApp, they're not using Viber, they're not using the FB Messenger. They believe in the product, they know it's going to improve, so they're using this. So even though it's beta, they know it's already functional enough for them to use it, and they want to test the product because they want to improve it. So they are willing to make that happen. And for doing that, the company is rewarding them. So that's the first one. Now, I want to describe this second group, right? They're as big as this first group. They also have 1,000 members. However, they said, you know what? This app is better, and I don't think we can use it because the functional that we want is not there. Let's not use this. Let's only use it as little as we can. So now they're still using the FB Messenger. They're still using WhatsApp. They're using still using Viber, and they're using it heavily. And they're not really helping the company improve the product. So they decide that we only gonna be using 100, and then they're gonna keep using. So this is the second one because they said that I cannot use the phone. It's not usable for me. Okay, so that's okay. Yeah, we respect that. Um, but later on you're gonna find out what's wrong with that. Now the third group, they only have 8 members, but they have the same mentality as the first one. So they've been using a lot, and now they have 200. No, it's quite high, but let's say they are really pumping it up. And then the last group, same thing. Family of four, no other friends here. That's just them. And they've been using it a lot too, right? Because they're heavily using it for whatever reason. So they're using it a lot too. So again, I kind of exaggerate this because I wanted really to make a point. So how do we calculate the allocations? So again, it's a total allocation is 1,400. Now the total for all the community, in this case, it's 1,000 this here, 200 and 100 for a total of 1,400. So the allocation method works in this case where the portion that goes to the first group that has 1,000 usage will be 1,000 usage divided by 1,400 times 1050, which is the token, right? So that's 750. Same thing here. The second group use the same formula. They come up with 75. The third group, they have 150. And the fourth group, they have the 75. So as you notice, the bulk of the tokens are going to this group, right? Because they're bigger and they have more usage. So the bulk of the tokens goes to them. Now, if you look at this too, this is interesting that I want you to see. You have 75 here, you have 1,000 members, you have 75, and here you have a family of four, and they still also have 75. So that means you have 1,000 that only gain 75, and you have four here that gain 75, which tells me that it's not about how big your group is. It's about how much you use the app. So I'd like you to have that in mind. It's not about how big your group is. Okay, so that's how you calculate that, and I hope you really get the idea of how this allocation works. Now, if you really want to do it correctly, each of these also have their own group, right? It's going to have this group that will be included in the calculation. This person will have its own group. So all of this actually have their own group, but I didn't factor that in because I don't want to confuse you guys. I want to make this as simple as possible, but that's really how it would work. So you have 200,000 right now users that are sharing the same pie, 1050. So in the past, previously during the first week, there's a big group that came in that has a group already. So now they're getting the bulk of the pie, right? We're sharing the same pie, 1050, everybody. It doesn't matter if you're 200,000 users, if they had 500,000 users, you're sharing the same pie. The only disadvantage here is if you're joining late, you are getting less of the allocation because now you get having more competition, and that's the reason why I always emphasize if you want to join, you want to join now because you want to take advantage of that allocation while it's still high, because the later you join, the later allocation that you're going to get. But it's still good, it's something, right? It's just you could have done better, you could have gotten more had you joined, had you joined earlier. So that's what that's the point that I'm trying to make. And the other point that I'm trying to make, a lot of people are not using the app because they said it's not working. It's not working for them. Well, you're not getting the idea. You're doing this wrong. The whole idea is to earn as much token as you can while they're giving out a lot of token and while they're having less competition. If you're one of these guys like these guys here and they're still using FB Messenger, WhatsApp, and Viber, then you're not getting the point. You're not getting the tokens. You're not getting the tokens that actually when you have less competition. If you join late, then you're joining with a lot of people that are also joining. So if you really want to make wait until this app is perfect, then you already miss a lot of tokens because what happens is you're missing the point where you have less competition and the tokens are more. If you are actually using it now and if you actually join now. So that's the point that I wanted to emphasize with you guys is use the app, don't be afraid. I mean, you have nothing to lose. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. So that's it's very mind-boggling when something is free. It doesn't cost you anything. You don't want to do it. You don't want to share. And yet, when something is also free and it's not giving you a rewards, you're actually sharing it right away. Like you don't even care that you're sharing it right away. So that's really mind-boggling to me that this is a free product that rewards you while it's WhatsApp and Viber that's also a free product that doesn't reward you. You're like sharing it in a heartbeat. So that's really what's mind-boggling, and that's really what's confusing to me. I mean, at least So, but you get my point, right? You get the gist of it, and that's and I want you to understand that.